Here's another way you can talk about the goal of counseling. One of the ways that I like to think about people and try to assess them, the way that I want to understand them so I can understand them correctly, is I want to know how much, how profoundly they are affected by Christ. The affection that you have for Jesus Christ, whatever that may be, will determine the kind of life that you live. Let me illustrate this by drawing this diagram here. And what you see here is a person's life. This is their living. This is the behaviors, the external life that they live. These are the things that you see. But the things that you see, the external life that a person has, it is affected by other things. And so as you drive down to the heart of the individual to understand what is really motivating them, then you begin to understand the kind of life that they have. And so a person's living is impacted, affected by the individual's thoughts. The way that you think, the way that I think, determines the kind of life that we live. But our thoughts are fueled by something. And so those thoughts are fueled by desires. What is it that you want? What is your passion? What are the things that are underneath your thoughts, that animate your thoughts, that work out into the life that you live? And then ultimately, in the very center is your affection. Everybody is affected by something. We're serving one master or the other master, but we're not serving two masters. And what I want to understand, which master are they serving? What master has had the greatest effect on them? In this case, the way it should be, my affection for Christ influences my desires. My desires impact my thoughts, and my thoughts will feed my behavior. And so in the Christocentric world, we want to be affected by Christ. We want to be individuals who are deeply affected. We have great affections for Christ, and the bigger, richer, more profound your affections are for Christ, the more they will affect your desires, the more they will impact your thoughts, and then the more it will affect the external life that you live. But if you haven't been affected by Christ the way that you should, then that will have an adverse effect on your desires, your thoughts, and your living. And so one of the things that I want to assess with the people that I'm serving in counseling is how much do they love Jesus, basically. Are they in love with Christ? And I will say that a lot of people that I counsel, those that I disciple, they really do not have big affected thoughts of Christ, and that is proportional to the life that they live. Before we go any farther, let's take a coffee break. My appeal to you is that you would help us. Some of you are already helping us to keep our resources free. And if you can, if you're able, I know that everybody can't, but if you're able to support us, $5 a month or $50 a year or any amount above that, would you consider doing that? You can go on our website and you can learn how to do that. If you can't, it's really not a problem at all. But if you can, it will help us to accomplish more and to be able to serve more people. And we want to make all of our resources free to everyone. And we can do that as more people take up the burden of underwriting this ministry. And so if you are willing and able and appreciate what we are doing, consider supporting our ministry for at least $5 a month, and I would greatly appreciate it. This webinar is part of our Mastermind Training course. It's all online, self-paced discipleship and counseling study course. If you want to learn more about our Mastermind Training, please go to our website, and we have an entire page with a ton of information on it that will walk you through and answer almost, probably, maybe, every one of your questions about the training to see if it's a good fit for you. This is an Introduction to Biblical Counseling class. I am Rick Thomas. This is lesson number 6, and our ministry is helping people live effective lives. Thank you so much for joining me for this webinar.